Hi there, friends. This is Chris with Peace of Mind, and I'm bringing you another Little Bits video. This is where I make I just take a little idea and make on how to make a certain ephemera for your journals or to use in your other artwork or slow stitch, etc. Today I had just finished making a journal, and I was putting on the front. It was this one. It's putting on the front, and I was trying to decide, what the closure was going to be on it, because I still need to cover the inside pages, and I needed to know if I wanted to have a ribbon coming out of here, and so on. So I decided I would take a piece of lace and put it around the journal. So I'm going to show you a few examples of how I can use different elements to make a journal closure using ribbon or lace. And in one case, I'm going to use my slow stitch roll that I had. And I have it on one of my handmade cardboard spools that I show you how to make. I'll link that video. Remember, save your spools. You can also make these from, save also your, for example, this one was made out of a thinner, excuse me, wax paper roll. So save those too. Those make excellent ones because they're thinner, and you can wrap it around. And also, sometimes you just need to just save the tops of these, or you can save the whole thing in this case. So I'll link that. I'll link that video. Okay, so I'm going to put these aside for now, and we'll work on the first one. You can use anything on these. Generally, they're made out of fabric, some kind of lace, fabric. Like I said, the slow stitch roll. Paper is probably not a good idea because it wouldn't really hold up. So what I do is I make sure my journal is together. Now, you will need to allow, if you plan on decorating your journal, you'll need to allow for a little extra room in the closure, which I have done. And what I did was I put my lace around the journal and measured how I wanted it, the size I wanted it to be. And there we go. I think maybe I put it the other way. Let me see. Well, I'll just show you this way. And then you'll notice I have two Velcro dots, one on each side. So, and that dot shows through a little bit. Don't worry about it because I'm going to put something on top of that one. And you notice there's a little bit of give in here so that I can still put some more inside this journal and have plenty of room. Okay, so that's basically how you do the first step. And then, like I said, I use these little Velcro dots. Actually, I got these at, let's see. Oh, I got these at the dollar store. But you can get them at other craft stores also. They're just fastener dots. They come with a sticky back. And the sticky back is pretty good. And probably will hold paper just fine. I did put a dot of fabric tack on the back to glue them down so that they would really adhere there well. And as you can see, it really works well. One of course has the nubby side, and one has the plain side, so it grabs it and it closes it. Now, if you wanted to keep this on permanently, what you could do is you could put a little bit of glue under the back part of this lace so that when you opened this, it would still be on the journal. And you might want to do that. You might want to leave it just without doing that. That's fine too. What I want to do next is I want to decide what I want on this one, because I definitely need a charm or a flower or something in the middle of this. And let's see, I kind of like this clock, so I auditioned that, and I think that's gonna work pretty nicely on there. I also had picked out this white flower, and I do like that a lot. I think I am going to use this clock. I may make this kind of an Alice in Wonderland theme. I'm not sure yet. The inside of the journal I made from various pieces of paper that were kind of leftovers. So I think I will do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off. I'm going to make sure that I position it over the top of the lace where that Velcro dot is, or somewhere in the general vicinity of the Velcro dot. And I'm going to take my fabric tack some on the back of the charm. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to need to put this back on here so I remember which dot I had it on. Yes, it was this one. And then I'm going to adhere it down to there. Oops. It's a little bit heavy. It definitely needs the fabric tack rather than just the craft glue. Okay, so I am going to put that aside for the moment so that it can dry before I try putting it back on the journal. Okay, next I'm going to show you one that I use. I'm going to use my I've had this quite a while. I made this. There's also a video on this. The ribbon roll. And in my Etsy shop, I also have a kit for making a what I call a ribbon roll, or a slow stitched ribbon roll. And I'm going to unroll this from the spool. Now, these journals have not been made yet. I just picked a couple of papers with covers so that I could show you on here. I think I'll use this one. So once you get something inside here, then of course your journal is going to be quite a bit thicker. So you need to allow for that in your slow stitch roll. Okay, so let's show you how we'd go about doing that. I did pick this lace, and I'll need to glue that on. For the moment, I'm going to pin it on, and I may sew it on also. I'm not sure yet, but I'll just pin it on for now. Okay, and I already measured it to see how far I needed to cut it down. And I'm just putting this on the back so that when and I could use muslin too if I wanted to, so that when this is off of the journal, that you'll be able to get a nice pretty look from the back also, and it covers over the stitches of the slow stitch. Okay, so I'm going to pin that there. Okay, and I have tried this already on before I started the video. Okay, so it goes this way. Okay, then you're just going to want to try putting your slow stitched piece till you get it like you want it. And like I said, you're going to need some room. I would suggest that you before you cut your length for this that you do it on a journal that's either already finished or mostly finished before you put the closure on here, so that you can determine how big or small you'll need it to be. Okay, I think that's pretty. I like that heart peeking out here. You don't want to make it too long. And you can always move this up a bit. Okay, I'm going to cut this. On this one I have right after the cute little, and I'm cutting it right over the top of the pin. So I'm going to move the pin. Then I still have the rest of this slow stitch ribbon to use on something else. I'll put it back on the spool for now. Okay, and then let's see, how am I going to close this? Am I going to use a button closure? I kind of like where this button is here, and I can put a Velcro dot. Let's try the Velcro dots. And for sake of speed here, I'm just going to put them on. I'm not going to glue them down yet. I'm just showing you how to do them. Oops. So you need two. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to put this one on the back of that button, which will also be the back of the lace. Then what I'll do is I will put the other dot so it connects on there, and then all I have to do, figure out where it's going to land, is put it down so that it sticks down to there. You could hear that little. And you probably will need a little bit of glue underneath here. It may hold pretty well, but you probably need a little bit of glue. Because given the wear and tear on it, it might eventually come off. And there you go. Not pretty? You might want to keep this cover of the journal fairly plain. Maybe it could have a book plate, or maybe it could have some corners or something on it. Because this, of course, is going to take the center stage. You could also, if you wanted to, you could also tack this down on the back so that it would stay with the journal, or you could just put it on the journal when you finish writing in it for that day, or finish doing your art in it for that day, sketching, whatever you do. I don't do much writing journaling. I do some art journaling, so that's good, and I like to have sketchbooks and journals that I can draw in and sketch in. Okay, so that's kind of the second alternative for making the closure. And I'm going to show you a closure made with, this one's a real easy one. Here's another thing I found. If you have any jewelry, old jewelry, or it makes a great topping to put on these, especially like a pin or something. That works really well. I'm opening this on the wrong side. I think this is it opens like a locket. You could actually glue a photograph in there, and you could put a bulb pin to hold it to the front, to the closure. I'll show you here. Of course, if that had a photograph in it, you wouldn't see through to the lace, but that would be pretty. Or just an old brooch or something, you know, one of your grandma's old brooches, or one that you find at a thrift store. That would be pretty too. Okay, so in this case, I kind of maybe want to ruffle this up a bit right here. So I put a couple of pins in where it's gonna need to be ruffled up. And what I'll do is I will either glue, or in this case I think I'll probably sew right along here to stitch it down. And then I'll check on this side where I need to kind of bring it in a bit. This is just to make the middle part look more like a bow. I'll pull this up. I would use in this case an ecru thread so that it wouldn't show as much. Now this is an example of one that I am not going to use the Velcro dots on. What I'm going to use is, I have a couple of alternatives what I could use on here. And in my last Little Bits video, I showed how to make these cone flowers, so I could use one of those. This one has a fairly big paper clip on the back, so I could paper clip it on to close it. And while I'm showing you this, wouldn't this look cool on a package, like a wedding gift or something? Wouldn't that be beautiful? I really like that. I think that's beautiful. Or you can use, now this little butterfly I haven't shown you yet. This is I got the idea from G. Kerr. She made them on her channel. And I am going to show you how to make these on one of my Little Bit videos that will be coming up. So stay tuned for that. But it also has a paper clip on the back. So let's paper clip that on and see how that fits on there. This paper clip is a little bit more smaller, so it might be a little bit more fiddly for me. But you'll get the idea. There we go. There, doesn't that look pretty? That would also be pretty on a package. So I hope you've enjoyed these little bit ideas on how to, actually this end of to get it kind of frayed looking like this. That's what I'm going to do next, is I just take my scissors and I kind of act like I'm going to start to cut it, then I kind of pull it so it gets frayed on the edges like that. And I like that look better than the cut straight across. So got that. Okay, so let me show you the 3 that we made today. This one, and you can also use this paper clip, or you can use any other paper clip item that you have. You could also use a brooch or something on here that you could pin through there, and the person that received it could, you know, take this off, and this could like be a separate gift. They wouldn't have to use it on the journal every day. And then here's the one that we made with the slow stitch ribbon. Pretty. And then this one is probably dry by now, so let's put this one on. When I'm putting it on, I'm going to go by that Velcro dot as far as where the middle is. That in the middle. Now I'm going to pull this one over and hook it up with that Velcro dot. And like I said, I left a little bit of leeway on there to make it a little bit thicker, because I know it's going to be thicker when I get the journal finished. So there we go. Some ideas. You can also use a strip of fabric and wrap it around there. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Peace of mind.